Well, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to a Therapeutic Edge. Thanks for joining me. This knife on the table comes to us by way of Napster Ninja. Thank you, Napster. We really appreciate you, man. This is the Toor Knives Merchant 2.0. I had the Toor Knives Merchant, and I don't anymore for a number of reasons. But they seem to have gotten all of that worked out, and the 2.0 is a surprisingly excellent knife. Now, it's got a very particular look to it, but it's still really well done. Now, they fixed a couple of things that I did not love about the original. First and foremost, they have thinned it out quite a bit. So it is definitely narrower in the hand, but still you get a really good grip because of the swell back here. It's very comfortable. The S35VN is done very well. It's got a nice stone wash to it, and it's very pokey, as you can see. They did a couple of weird things. First, the original Merchants had an awful clip on them. It was way down on the knife. It was undeep carry to the point of absurdity. And so they fixed it by putting a deep carry clip on it. But then they put this giant screw, that gonna focus? There we go. Right in the middle of the clip. So come on, guys. I mean, seriously. So it is deep carry, but not very. Like, it hangs up. Now, you can work it past that spot, but if you got thick jeans, you're still going to run into that. Anyway, here's the thing. Everybody gets an opportunity to improve themselves, right? A company like Toor came along, decided they were going to make knives, produced some really interesting looking knives that had some issues. Mine, for instance, had a very bad lockup problem. This one does not. It's locked up tight as a drum. They have improved the clip, but there is still work to do, and I'm on board for that. Now, these are not inexpensive. This is about a $295 knife, but for that you get made in the United States, all made in the US, according to their website, including the screws and all of the hardware, which is saying something. You get titanium S35VN running on phosphor bronze. It's got a lovely construction with just a couple of barrel spacers. Sorry, as I was saying. There's no milling on the inside. It is a relatively simple construction, but I'll tell you, for phosphor bronze, it snaps right open, and with a little wiggle, it drops closed. I do like the shape of this thing quite a bit. I really do. So what does it remind me of? Well, I mean, it's got a very feel to it. It just does, right? If I had a plain Jane Sebedza 31, the similarities in build would be more obvious. I don't want to imply that these knives look anything alike. They do not. That's not what I'm getting at. It's the build feeling that is reminiscent. And where these are $500 and up, these are sub $300. And for sub $300, you get a very similar feel to Chris Reeve, which is, for those of you that know, is saying something. And in fact, I like the Toor Merchant's overall feel in hand as much as I like anything made by Chris Reeve. I love how lean they went through here. It thickens up at the end of the handle, so it sort of plants itself into your palm. I like the sort of stabby profile of the blade. I think they've done a great job. Thumb studs are in the cutting path, but not obnoxiously so. And it's very snappy. You can come up a little bit, up to here. You want to be careful, of course, but you can. If you're really working on something up close, like whittling, or you were trying to do some fine cuts, you could do it that way. But for the most part, you're going to want to stay back here. I think it's just a great knife. I think they've done a terrific improvement over the first gen of Merchant, and I think for the money, you're getting an awful lot of knife, particularly made in the United States. So, well, I guess we just had it out, so we might as well do the specs, and then we'll go back to the size comparisons. You get 3 1/4 of cutting on 3 1/2 inches of S35VN, the grip area from behind that swell. It's coming in at 3 3/4, which is why it fits my hand like it was made for it, right? Really well sorted. The knife overall, from tip to tail, is 7 7/8. Yeah, about 7 7/8. Closed length on the Toor Merchant 2.0 is coming in at 4, just shy of 4.5. And the in the pocket profile is pretty darn good. If we line that up right there on that line, right back here, you're just shy of 1.25 inches, but down towards the in the pocket, you're at 1 1/16. I mean, it's really a lean carry, and there's nothing to bang into stuff on your pocket. All right, there's a little bit of jimping right here on the titanium, which is nice, right? Gives you, melds in very nicely, and it's milled in really nice alignment with the jimping on the back of the blade. It's a nice touch, by the way. Gives your thumb something to grab onto. Coming forward for draw cuts, it's swedged but not sharp, so your finger's very comfortable up here on the blade if you're going to draw this way, right? Works pretty well. And you can move your thumb all the way out here for really, if you're going to aggressively cut stuff and it's not going to hurt you, because there's enough flat back here for your thumb to land on. As I said, it's very pokey. You could give something to move along if you needed to. I think they've done a great job. If they could just fix this little clip weirdness, this knife would be, it would move from a really spectacular knife to like an unstoppable knife, because it's really close. All right, let's do some size comparisons just for fun. Move it down here a little bit. And we already had it out, so let's bring it out again. Mostly because I just love this knife, and it's always nearby at this point. This is it, the Merchant side by side with the Sebenza 31. As you can see, the Sebenza is a little bit longer. Both are, is that hologram? Excuse me, this is flat ground. Both are. They're both S35VN, although this is hollow ground, so the Sebenza is a slightly better cutter, but of course you're paying $200 more. You're paying a whole other knife worth of money for the Sebenza. I don't know that I find it all that worth it, considering how good they're starting. These are coming out of the factory at this point. But anyway, here it is against our friend the Bug Out. And as you can see, the Merchant 2.0 is considerably larger than the Bug Out. If we line the tip of the blade up, you get more cutting and more handle. It's just a bigger knife overall. And here it is against the full-size grip. These knives are very similar in overall size and sort of blade, like they have a different shaped blade, but working with them, they feel very similar in hand, if that makes any sense. What else do we have on the table from the last couple of weeks? Sure, why not? Here it is against the full-size Shiro. My buddy Tyler loaned this to me, and I don't know if I'm mad about it or happy about it. But anyway, yeah, this is all CNC machined and factory done. This is made in the United States. This is $1,400. This is less than $300. So spend your money where you want. By way of example, here's a $400 knife that you can get. This is, of course, this is from a couple of weeks ago. You saw this. This is the Cybertrix, which is just the worst name ever. Anyway, not made in the United States, M390, titanium, factory built, lots of factory parts, $400. So, I don't know. My point is that if you've always wanted a Chris Reeve, but the $500 price tag has been keeping you back, but you have been saving your money and you have $300, you can get a knife that is very similar, not the same. They have a ways to go until they are at the same overall fit and finish as a Sebenza, but they're close, and they're a whole knife's worth less money. I am really grateful for Napster for sharing this, because my first experience with them, with the Merchant 1.0, was not great. I, in fact, had it for a very short time, and then I got rid of it because it was just very rough. But they have come a long way, it seems. And, of course, this makes me happy for them, and now I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. Yeah. So let's go ahead and weigh it out, because that's something we do here. I really need to shake up the way I do these videos. Maybe I'll weigh stuff first, just to kind of get it out of the way. 3.5 ounces. As I said, there's no milling on the inside of the tie scales, so that doesn't surprise me. And you know, they're decently sized, thick slices of that titanium. Let's go ahead and see how much blade stock they gave us to play with here. Way back here at the thickest spot, yeah, 3.16 millimeters. So, you know, it's a relatively thick slice of S35VN, drawn down fairly quickly to an acute edge. There's a little smile at the base of the plunge, but I don't know how many people have had this before Napster. It comes in the brand new box, but it's entirely possible somebody else has sharpened this. So I know that if he had done it, it would be perfect because he's really good at what he does. I kind of want one of these. Now that I've got my hands on the Gen 2, I may move some stuff around and see if I can find one of these. Just because I think that a couple of years from now, having a Gen 2 merchant is going to be cool, because I think they're going to go a long way, and I think they're going to do very cool things. They make some really cool fixed blades too. Maybe I'll reach out to Bob the Knife Junkie and see if I can borrow one of his. Toor is doing good things. They really are. And if you've been thinking about picking one up, but you heard some sort of rough stuff about the original Toor, the original merchant, don't worry. They have absolutely rectified all of that. This is a fantastic pocket knife for 300 bucks. It really is. And that's where we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the Toor Merchant 2.0 or any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments below. I'll see you guys here at the table next time. Take care.